She built a 7-figure e-commerce business with no warehouse, no employees, and no paid ads. Just a $1,000 investment, a box of rhinestones, and a genius system that runs out of guest bedrooms across Northern America. Natalie Mounter is the founder of Totally Dazzled, a Shopify store that sells sparkly bling to crafters and brides, and she did it while raising a family and staying completely off Amazon. And today, I'm breaking down the exact blueprint she used to scale to 7 figures while keeping her lifestyle completely flexible. You'll learn how she built a micro-fulfillment team using stay-at-home moms, how she scaled using micro-influencers on 100% commission, and how she pivoted through a complete market collapse and built one of the most efficient affiliate programs I've ever seen. And the best part, you can replicate every part of it, even if you're just starting out with no tech skills, no budget, and no audience. Now, before we dive into the tactics, let's rewind to the moment it all started, because the way Natalie began is not what you'd expect. When I first met Natalie, she had just joined my Create a Profitable Online Store course. She wasn't running a thriving brand. She was a new mom trying to figure out how to stay at home with her child without sacrificing her income or her independence. She didn't have investors, she didn't have formal training, and she definitely didn't have a step-by-step plan. But what did she have? A drawer full of craft supplies. Natalie had been offering custom wedding invitation services on the side, elegant handmade designs for brides. And over time, she'd built up a stash of materials, ribbons, embellishments, and rhinestones. Tons of them. So she took a quiet leap. She opened an Etsy shop, no fancy branding, no big announcement, just a couple product listings, mostly to see if anyone would buy. And selling bling felt almost silly. It was such a saturated market and she didn't expect much. But something clicked. Orders started coming in, reviews followed, and that one product she nearly dismissed, rhinestone embellishments, became her breakout hit. So lesson number 1, don't wait for the perfect idea. Start with what's already in front of you and just test it. Natalie didn't try to invent something new. She simply used what she had. She uploaded a mix of items, embellishments, invitations, rhinestone bling, and if you had asked her which one would sell, she would have guessed anything but the rhinestones. But the data said otherwise. Now the bling exploded. Orders poured in, customers came back for more. That was the moment she realized this wasn't just a side hustle. It was the start of something real. But success on Etsy was only the beginning. What came next is what separates dabblers from real brand builders. So lesson number 2, don't rely on gut instinct, rely on feedback, real data. Test small, double down on what moves, and let your audience show you what they want. Now, as sales picked up on Etsy, Natalie ran into the same wall that every successful Etsy seller eventually hits. She had customers, but no control. She couldn't build her brand. She couldn't upsell or email her list. She couldn't protect her margins or own the customer relationship. And every time Etsy changed their algorithm, her traffic dropped. And that's when she realized if she wanted to build something she could actually control, she had to own the platform. So she made the leap to Shopify. Now, she wasn't a developer. She didn't know how to code, but she understood one thing clearly. If she wanted to build something real and sustainable, she needed to own her platform. So she picked a clean, professional Shopify theme, hired a freelance designer to help with the parts she couldn't do herself, and launched her store for just a couple $100 all in. So lesson number 3, you don't need to be a tech expert to build your own store. You just need to stop renting your business on someone else's platform, and with her new site live, she had more freedom to experiment, better product pages, stronger brand messaging, and the ability to drive traffic directly to her site, not someone else's marketplace. But with that freedom came a new challenge, fulfillment. And this is where most e-commerce brands overcomplicate everything. And what Natalie did instead, absolute genius. Orders were going fast, and she couldn't pack every box herself forever. And that's when she built one of the scrappiest, smartest fulfillment teams I've ever seen. Now, most people think scaling a product-based business means leasing a warehouse, hiring staff, and building out complex logistics. Natalie did none of that. Instead, she asked a simple question. What is the easiest possible way to get these orders out the door without giving up control of my life? And the answer was stay-at-home moms. Her first fulfillment center was a family member's guest bedroom in the United States because Natalie lives in Canada, but most of her customers were American. Shipping across the border was slow, expensive, and unpredictable, so she got creative. She sent bulk inventory to a relative who could pack and ship orders from home. No warehouse, no logistics partner, just a mom with a label printer and a spare room. And when Totally Dazzled kept growing, she repeated the model. One stay-at-home mom turned into two, then more. Some handled packing and shipping. Others took over customer service. Inventory was stored in basements, garages, and guest rooms, whatever worked. By the way, if you're interested in learning how to start your own profitable online store, make sure you sign up for my free 6-day e-commerce mini course below. It's 100% free, and I guarantee you'll learn a lot. So lesson number 4 is you don't need a warehouse to scale. You just need a system that matches your lifestyle and grows with your business. Now, this micro-fulfillment strategy wasn't just low cost and flexible, it also aligned perfectly with Natalie's mission, creating meaningful, flexible work for other moms who wanted to be present for their families just like she did. And because every team member worked from home, her overhead stayed insanely low, even as the revenue climbed into the 7 figures. But fulfillment was only part of the equation. To keep growing, Natalie needed traffic, and lots of it. And she didn't want to run Facebook ads. She didn't want to build complicated funnels or throw money at expensive campaigns. So instead of doing what everyone else was doing, she turned to the one resource most e-commerce brands completely overlook. She built an entire growth engine using micro-influencers and paid them only on commission. No upfront fees, no big contracts, no risk, just product, relationships, and a simple performance-based system. Now, she started small, reaching out to creators who were already making the kind of content her customers loved. DIY tutorials, crafting videos, wedding decor, and instead of sending a mass email or a corporate pitch, she kept it personal. Hey, I love your content, and I think you'd be a perfect fit for Totally Dazzled. Would you be interested in trying out some of our bling? And if you love it, I'd be happy to talk about our affiliate program. It was low pressure, authentic, and it worked. Some creators ignored the message, but others responded, and a few turned into long-term partners who genuinely loved her products. So lesson number 5, focus on real connection over big reach. One engaged creator can drive more sales than 10 mega influencers with lukewarm audiences. Now, over time, Natalie formalized the process. She launched an affiliate program using refersion, offering a 20% commission on every sale, a 30-day cookie window, and personalized discount codes for every influencer's audience. And then she made it really easy to join. Most of these creators had never worked with affiliate links before, so Natalie built a dead simple onboarding flow, step-by-step instructions, screen shares, and a direct line to ask questions. And once they were onboarded, she didn't just hand them a code and disappear. She stayed in touch. She provided guidance, content ideas, and marketing templates, and she treated her affiliates like partners, not contractors. So lesson number 6, the best affiliates aren't just salespeople, they're extensions of your brand, so empower them, support them, and they'll stick around. Eventually, Natalie handpicked her top-performing creators and invited them to a VIP content team. A small group paid a flat fee to post weekly videos directly to Totally Dazzled's Facebook page. And the content didn't just live on Facebook. Because Natalie owned it, she could repurpose it across Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and beyond, fueling her entire content engine for pennies on the dollar. So no ad budget, no agencies, just relationships, consistency, and systems. Now, everything was running smoothly until the world shut down, and what happened next could have destroyed the entire business. The pandemic hit. Practically overnight, the wedding industry, the backbone of Natalie's business, completely shut down. Events were canceled, venues closed, brides postponed their big days, orders dried up, and sales plummeted. Now, for a business built on sparkle and celebration, it could have been the end. But instead of panicking, Natalie pivoted and fast. Now you see, Totally Dazzled had always served 2 markets, brides and wedding planners, and crafty DIYers who use bling for scrapbooks, card making, and home projects. And up until that point, the DIY market had been a secondary focus. But during the lockdown, that audience exploded. Hobbyists were stuck at home, desperate for creative projects, crafting became their therapy, and Natalie leaned in hard. But one-time orders weren't enough. Natalie knew the real key to growth wasn't in chasing new customers, it was in getting them to come back. So she shifted her messaging. She created new content tailored to crafters. She launched tutorials, Facebook Lives, and email campaigns focused on creative inspiration, not just product. And the results? Not only did crafting keep the business alive, it actually helped Totally Dazzled grow during one of the toughest economic periods in recent history. So lesson number 7, don't put all of your revenue in one niche. Serving multiple markets gives your business resilience and options when the unexpected hits. And that adaptability didn't stop with her products. It carried over into how she kept customers coming back again and again. While most brands chase the next viral video or try to out-hack the algorithm, Natalie focused on something far more sustainable: customer retention. She knew that getting someone to buy once was good, but getting them to come back again and again, that's what builds a real business. So instead of relying on luck or hope, she built a system, a repeatable rhythm of communication that kept Totally Dazzled top of mind week after week. Her email marketing wasn't an afterthought. It was a channel, a consistent strategic part of her business, and she sent multiple emails every single week. New product drops, flash sales, affiliate project recaps, crafting inspiration, live video invites. These weren't spammy or salesy. They were valuable, engaging, and relevant. And because Natalie trained her audience to expect quality content, they opened, clicked, and bought. But email was only the beginning. Her SMS strategy took it even further. Natalie knew that texts get faster responses and better engagement, so she used a simple incentive to build her list. Email subscribers got 10% off, but SMS subscribers got 20%. And that one small tweak dramatically increased signups and gave her a direct line to her most loyal customers. So lesson number 8, don't rely on viral traffic. Build systems that bring people back because loyalty is more powerful than reach. The result? A highly engaged audience that didn't just buy once. They bought regularly. They referred friends, they shared projects, and they became part of a community. But here's the part most people miss. Natalie didn't scale the traditional way. In fact, she did the complete opposite, and it's why she's still growing today. Natalie didn't build Totally Dazzled to chase headlines, raise capital, or dominate Amazon. She built it to be present for her kids, for herself, and for the life she actually wanted. Every decision she's made has been filtered through that lens. She chose not to sell on Amazon, not because she couldn't, but because she didn't want to deal with algorithm changes, returns chaos, or giving up control. She hired stay-at-home moms not just for logistics, but because she understood the value of flexible, meaningful work. And she didn't scale fast. She scaled intentionally, sustainably, and profitably. And because she focused on systems over shortcuts, Natalie built a 7-figure business that runs lean, fulfills a purpose, and leaves room for joy. So the final lesson here is you don't have to follow the traditional playbook to succeed. You can design a business around your life and not the other way around. Ultimately, Natalie chose to grow slowly, deliberately, and sustainably. No outside funding, no pressure to scale at breakneck speed, just thoughtful progress guided by her values, and it paid off. Now, if you enjoyed that story and you're interested in starting your own profitable online store, make sure you watch this video here on exactly what I would do if I were to start an online store today.